Okay, so far. Guys, please do ping in the chat box if my voice is loud and clear. Guys, please do ping in the chat box if my voice is loud and clear. Arvind, am I audible?
So good evening, guys. Can you hear me now? Okay, so this is Arvind Kumar. Again, the last two sessions which has been left. So today and tomorrow we'll complete those things. Okay. So you studied the REST applications, REST previously, which we have done. Very few of you have joined. We have 50 around the strength. So just wait for 5 minutes and then we'll proceed. Okay. So what is the current scenario you have tried with the REST applications, something which earlier we have done? So I hope last week after that you studied and completed those topics. I updated on the chat on this drive also some of the latest Java 8 features which was supposed to be done. So I hope you have received, because on the Monday itself I have completed at around 1 o'clock. So that's what I think you have seen that. So those things are very important. If you have not completed, so before going to any kind of evaluation process, just take care of these few topics which will be very helpful. Okay, so that's why I have shared those things. So we completed with the REST applications, REST, which is we have seen that it's a web application, web services. And the purpose of the web services happens to be where we can have the services rather than one single project and through the routing through the controller. So we have several functionalities. On that we are dividing the projects, and on that we call on different REST endpoints. So till you have not done the UI part, we have checked with the Postman those things, right? So the Postman happens to be the testing environment where we can check our REST endpoints, get, post, put, and delete things are working or not, the data are able to fetch it or not from the database, or we can add to the database, post a message, or we can update it or not. So those things we definitely able to check with the help of Postman and certain other tools like we have ARC, Advanced REST Clients. So multiple options are available for the testing of the code for REST endpoint before we actually consume those REST endpoints in our Angular or React applications. So that UI things you are going to complete after some time. Hopefully this one, maybe after this session gets completed. So then you need to integrate the REST applications with that, right? So today now we'll start the session. Okay, and I think we are still not to join. Ask them to join as soon as possible. Okay. So Today we are going to cover microservices, Eureka Discovery Server, API Gateway. So finally, the projects which you are going to do is in this category. Till now, what we have done is okay. For our understanding, we have started with the Spring Boot applications, which we have done with @Spring Boot applications and using the controller service and the repository layers, where we use some JSP pages. Then we have seen that instead of the controller, we used a REST controller. And the REST controller, the annotations are having the get mapping, post mapping, the put mapping, and delete mapping. So those things are different. In boot level, we have request mapping, which is having method type, method get post, request method dot get post put and delete. We have to separately write that. But here in the REST applications, we don't have to do it. So the data which we are sending to the server, it is going to the JSON format and it fetches the data and then return the data in JSON format. And the UI is there, which actually creates those good impressions like, okay, this is a good, really nice website and all. But actually, it's a job of the server, third-party applications, which is actually integrated in your own applications. So client is not aware, user is not aware actually that these are integrated to some third-party servers and they are getting the data from there. So that's the service-oriented architectures which we have done. So SOA, like the service-oriented architectures, we have web service and microservice. So web service is primarily the REST and SOAP. So REST applications, if we have multiple REST applications, then it is known as micro. So you can have based on your modules. Suppose you have admin module, user module, and some other modules. So what you do is in the REST applications, we used to create simply one REST application with different modules in the same project. But this is what the monolithic architecture. And some problems, drawbacks are there, so we will discuss about that also. Then the Eureka Discovery Server, as its name suggests, it's like discovering those microservices on the discovery server. So it will discover those services which are there. Yes, we'll check those things at 9 after the break. Okay. Okay, Manika. So right now completing the topics. Then towards when at least this thing's over, then we'll discuss it. Okay. So in the middle of the sessions, not required. First, let me complete these things. Then we'll definitely look into your things. You please share the screen and we'll see that. Okay. So currently starting things because we have hectic scheduling today also, and apart from that, tomorrow we are closing. Then we have to do with the some DevOps tools. So obviously you can understand that as per the timelines, we would like to complete the things, and those doubt things we will kept after the break. So after 9 o'clock, we will take some break and then we'll do it. Okay. So whatever you have done, it's okay. Now that is not connected directly over here. It's a different thing. Means those controller things are not there. REST controller will be there. I think you are not convinced you want like right now, but it's like for the 50 members, I have to do it with that. Which project? Yeah. Projects, you have capacity projects. Okay, so we'll do it. Don't worry. Okay, we need to little listen our project from all panels. So what do you want? Like you want right now the project discussions, or can I complete my sessions? Then I can do it in the second half. Yes, yes, I know that you have a capstone project. Yes, yes, yes. That's what I am saying it. Because when we are starting something, okay, okay, okay. No problem, no problem. Yes, yes, I will share it. Yes, yes. That's why I am saying that when we start something, at least the first things has to be completed. Then after 9, the break, we will see that you share the screen. Then we will discuss that one by one. No problem. I am fully okay with that. Okay, but these topics are high-end topics. At least before having completing those things, because the rest you have done, but in industry we are doing with the microservices mostly. So, what is Eureka server? What is API gateway? Yes, yes, Neha. Thank you, thank you. So, what is API gateway? What is the purpose of it? So, we'll do one project right now, one small applications, and we'll explain all those concepts. Before that, we have to explain to some theories also. Directly, we cannot go with the explanations of the coding itself. So, just give me some time. We'll discuss each and everything. Don't worry. Till 11, we'll complete all the things which we have said. So one by one. So now the microservices, which is micro is a English terms. According to that, if one service, if you break into multiple services, so that is micro. Split into multiple REST services. Earlier it was a single REST application. Now it is multiple REST application. So it's micro. Web service is multiple web service, so that is microservice. Okay, they all are part of it, but because of certain drawbacks and all, okay, okay. No, I just close it, but suddenly I recognize a lot of things were written actually, so that's why I thought like, okay, no problem. So API gateway, what is the purpose of it? What is the discovery server will do, and what is the microservice? So we'll discuss that, and also I would like to have at least one brief discussion with the JUnit and Mockito. Okay, for service layer testing. So this is something which I feel that you must be having some understanding in that topic as well. Because you are going to be a developer, that doesn't mean that you will not test your code. It's an integral part of the software developer itself to do the testing of each and every functionality which is written in the service layer. So what happened that before the code is actually been written, the actual logic is not completed because it's a team effort. It's not possible that it will be done immediately. So before that, we can go with some dummy data, and with that dummy data, we can check that my logic is working or not. So that testing has to be done by the development side itself. So we'll try to cover those things also, if time permits, apart from your projects things, and also those things we'll discuss it. So now, first of all, some theory concept about the microservice. So quickly go to that. Okay. So this microservice introductions. Why are microservices used? Microservices were used to overcome the challenges of monolithic architecture that prevailed initially in the market. Also enable you to deploy independent services. So before we move on to the microservice in simple words, let us see the architecture that prevailed initially in the market, that is monolithic architecture. And these terms are going to come in interview most of the time. Monolithic. So the way we had handled last program in the REST applications, it's known as monolithic architecture. So in layman terms, you can say that similar to big container, where all the software components of an applications are assembled together and tightly packaged. So it's kind of you can understand like you have one container where all the modules are configured in same container. So that kind of architecture are called monolithic architecture. So that in one applications we are managing multiple services. So that's what monolithic architecture below. There are some changes: inflexible, unreliable, unscalable, block continuous development, slow development, not fit for complex applications. These are the issues actually with the monolithic architecture. These are the details given. I will share it to you. You study that also. What exactly is microservice? Microservice is architectural style that is structure an application as a collection of small autonomous services modeled around a business domain. Suppose you have an e-commerce domain, and then there is a microservice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and till n. So there is no such kind of fixed uh, split of the services. It purely depends on the requirement. So as you can see that e-commerce, we have various modules: payment and order, payment, email, listing. Now you have one choice where you can integrate the entire project in one with the multiple REST controller, and module wise you can divide. So in a container, just managing the entire project with the multiple REST controllers. But the advantage here is that what is the difference? Okay. Web service is a project, single project with admin and order and payment. Micro means dividing that project into single independent project. So admin will have its own MVC project. Payment will have its own MVC project. Then the order will have its own payment. So what you do in the project, you have 2, 3, 4 modules, right? Is it correct? So those if you integrate through one project only using the REST controller, then it is a web service. But managing that complex architecture was difficult. So that's the reason, like one service is down, then other will not respond. So a lot of problems. That is why it is discussed that inflexible, unreliable, unscalable, block continuous development, slow development. So these things has to be overcome into the microservice. Micro, you understand, like you have something, you divide into multiple things till you get the correct kind of managing the complex project. So are you getting my point? What is this micro and web? Yes. So like your project, take any example of any single project, you have 5, 6 modules. Generally, modules are there in every project. If you have done any projects in the college level or something, you must have admin and user at least. Correct? So that is a container. There you are managing all the modules in that same project. But here we will create admin modules separately with MVC architecture with separate database, and then we will create another project with the REST controller itself, and that is user. So not mixing both of it in one single project. Now it is two, there can be n number of it. Means it depends upon the complexity level. So as I said, e-commerce, there are hundreds of modules are there. Each module we can integrate in, every module we can integrate in one single project, or we can split into hundreds of projects. So micro is like that. So that's a simple terminology, and it's called monolithic, the things which we have done earlier. So in the given architecture, is service is a self-contained and implement a single business capability. So it's not that this is calling another one like that. It's a self-contained, independent project itself. Okay. So it's part of SOA, service-oriented architecture only. That means web service is also service-oriented architecture, but this microservice is also part of it. Now it's a debatable things like it's not necessary that every organization will go for the microservice. They can have multiple projects in one REST applications itself. So it's not that because every technology which will come, there is a kind of differences and will be better than the previous one. But it depends upon the projects which you are getting. If your projects are like 5 years before it's started or some 10 years it's a maintenance project, so maybe they are using the normal things. So technology transitions may not be like every project has its own kind of the aspects. So it's a starting one, then they will take the latest things. But if it was previously 10, 15 years before it was developed and we are into the maintenance phase, as you understand, software making is a complex process. Once we create, we have to maintain for next 20 years. And those maintenance projects may be having some previous technology may be used. But the advantage in the microservice is different. Here you can see a difference in traditional architecture and microservice. Consider an e-commerce application as a use case of to understand the difference between both of them. Here it's a traditional approach. There is a browser, client browser, like we are using from laptop. There is a customer service, product service, cart service. So it is one single instance will drive all the three. Okay, so that means it is interconnected with one single browsing things. User will send a request. Depending upon the request, it will either hit the product service or cart service or customer service one by one in the sequence as it is mentioned. So this is the monolithic architecture. These terms will be used most frequently in IT industry. Please remember this word, monolithic, single. But micro, yes, yes, yes. Okay, okay. It's interesting only. It's not tough. You have done the rest, same example. But some betterment for the managing more complex because we have no idea like project level. There will be hundreds of services, hundreds of modules. And those modules we cannot have on single instance, monolithic. Then what is the option here? Client browser will send the request to the UI microservice. There is a common UI service which will direct to the customer, then product, then the cart. So they are independent self-contained project. Here it's a one single project, but customer microservice will be having its own database. Product microservice will have its own database. Cart microservice its own database. They are all independent project now. So multiple instances going to run. When user sends some request for customer customer details, etc., then it goes to the product services searching for the product. Then it add to the cart, and then the next thing is billing and email sending. There are so many modules. So these things are part of the micro things. Micro single to multiple. So monolithic to multiple projects. So the UI which we need basically redirect to the internal user. Please try to understand. User will not go to the customer microservice independently accessing it or product. User will see one single entity of access. So port number 9090. When it tries to write the context path, accordingly it goes to the either product, either customer, either cart, which is internally managed. So that I will do it to the Eureka and API gateway. Just wait that I will do it after some time. Okay. So that is a microservice with the concept of the monolithic. Difference is like this. Okay, so e-commerce project, it is a huge requirement because we have to maintain the independent services for each and every module. The difference is like that. The main difference we observed in the above diagram that all the features initially were under a single instance, sharing a single database. But then with microservices, each feature was allocated a different microservices, handling their own data and performing different functionality. So now let us architectures of microservice A, B, C, D, like number of microservices. And these are the client management capabilities. So we have services for search. A lot of things are there in our architecture. So HTTP REST is there because the protocols is HTTP REST, which will have get, post, put, and delete. But there are so many microservices, and these microservices, when user starts microservice A, it's going to have devices. Client is using different devices. Okay, it's not from the website like the desktop or laptop, maybe mobile or some other devices or cloud. The client is accessing, and those things are management capabilities are there. So that things are like search, database, and a lot of other modules are there. So client is accessing through different devices, and its inner architecture wise A, B, C, and D, it is connected. So this operational capability here, the architectures, different clients from different device try to use different service like search, build, configure, and other management capabilities. All the services are separated based on their domains, and the functionality are further allotted to individual microservices. Okay. So all the microservice communicates with each other through a stateless server, which is either REST or message bus. So microservices know their path of communication with the help of service discovery and performs operational capabilities such as autonomous monitoring. Then all the functionalities performed by microservices are communicated to the client via API gateway. So these gateway things are there. So now we'll move somewhat as per the requirement. Okay. So what is first of all Eureka services? Okay. So I'm just going to Eureka Discovery Service. The microservice, multiple independent REST projects, okay, for managing the complex architectures. This is the architecture of Eureka service, Eureka architecture. Eureka server going to register Eureka clients. So there are three microservices. Okay, three microservices, let's say 1, 2, and 3. So it is registry actually there in the Eureka server, which actually connects with all the three. So it is important that Eureka server knows about the Eureka clients, which is like order, payment, admin, all those things. So they are actually when having all the instances are discovered by the server, including the API gateway. So first it has to register like because we have seen there are multiple projects. Now how you will connect with one single point? You need Eureka server which will register all those things first. It's a discovery server. The moment I start this service, it will go to the connector with this one, and then it will run as usual like that, means with the Eureka. So, and then we have the Joule proxy gateway, or now it's a cloud gateway. So that architectures I am trying to show you. First, mobile or desktop, anything we are accessing the API gateway. You have user service, billing service, order service, other services. There are 5 microservices or 6 microservices. Now, Eureka server will register all of it, including the gateway. And then what will happen? The routing will happen through one common gateway. So API gateway will be helping actually that customer will access only through the API gateway. One common port number, because user service may be running on 8081. Billing service will be running on 8282. order service in 8285. So I cannot ask the customer, okay, you start on port number 8281, means like that, or some URL. We will say there is a common thing, port number 9090 slash the context path of it. That will do it today itself. So what will happen that first all the services are registered in the Eureka. It is a discovery server. Yes, yes, I will share this. I will share this. Yeah, yeah. So first, I am trying to explain you to the theory. Whatever 10% you understand, it's okay because it's not 100% possible until unless we go to the coding part of it. Okay, then you will understand. Again, we'll discuss this theory. But at least blank or things should not be started. That's why I am taking this images. So user service, billing service, they are on different port. 6 port they are having running. Now, can I ask a client, a user, basically, he is using that service, just you type this URL and get it done. Okay, so not like that. So we will say API gateway is there, which will redirect to these services, routing it. Okay, and this mobile and desktop, you have the Angular application through which you will be routing. Okay, just 1 second. Just 1 minute, I'm coming back. I stopped the audio for a while. I said just I am going for some time, coming back. Okay. So when there was no audio, so how you can hear the audio? Okay. I understand you are so means waiting all the things, but I also am working from home, so I may have something to do, so I can in the meantime I can do it, right? So I just stopped for a while, said I'm coming. Okay, so whatever the time will wasted, I will cover. Don't worry. Okay. Okay, so these are the services which is user billing, order, recommendations, authorizations, so many services connected with one single entry point. That is called gateway. So it's not a user billing, orders, recommendations, authorizations. User will not enter into one single projects. Okay. So now we'll start because times are moving. So we'll start with the one example. Already I will write some of the concepts so that you can understand that. Okay. So let me go to the switch workspace. So hopefully you understand this concept. Micro means multiple REST client. Okay. Yes, yes. So its terms are like micro. Micro is this way. Earlier you have asked. Yes, yes, yes. Asked to the team. Yeah. I have asked to the team only. So it's like earlier we have all these things in one single project, and in the boot level it's all very tough to make any changes because in the boot level you have all these services. You are having one controller only, and through the JSP pages we were doing it. Okay. So that JSP page, when you are doing with that controller service, means at the rate controller, then what happens that, see, I need one billing service. Now I cannot get that. I have to take entire project, user billing and recommendation, other order service, everything. So that is a drawback in the case of the Spring Boot applications if we are going with the controller. That is not service. Here it's individual services through the REST controller. Try to identify that thing also because we are targeting starting from the Spring Boot level to the Spring REST, then the microservice. So why these things are happened? Because if I have the microservice, it is a reusable component. I can share to the multiple organizations, multiple user clients who want to consume my service. For example, PayPal is that service which I said. It's not Amazon, but there are multiple such services going to take from the PayPal. So it's a reusable things also. So this has to be integrated in third-party services and get like a complete project. User is not aware of it's getting from third party or its own project. Okay. So now let's see if it started. This one Spring Boot is just starting. Okay, Spring Tools. So first build the Eureka service, then the API gateway, and then we'll write two REST controller examples. And then we'll again come to these concepts and discuss it. I will share this project also. I kept in the folder. I will share after the end of this discussion. Okay. So first we'll take some projects for Eureka and then the API gateway. So we'll take a new other Spring Starter project. Next. So we'll give the name like Eureka. Eureka Discovery. Its name is Eureka Discovery. So you can write like that only. Discovery. So it's a server thing. As per the diagram, this is I'm going to do it currently. Eureka server. And then the client will register in that. Okay, so that will do it accordingly. Next. For here, it's a Spring Boot version 2.7 is there. So we'll take Netflix Eureka server. So just search for Eureka. We'll get Eureka server. This is server actually. Others will be client. You can add the web dependencies or any other dependency also required. So we can, but mainly the Eureka server is required to add at this stage. Next, yes, it's loading here. Before that, the case study which I am going to discuss right now. Eureka and REST, this API gateway. API gateway will do it. Web server. No, no, no. It's a cloud server. Okay, cloud. Okay, so it's going to register the service. It is in the cloud actually. For this, we'll see this one also explained in that way. This enterprise application. So it's also in the hands-ons given explanations for this various enterprise applications and all those things, and monolithic mobile app. What is the difference between Tomcat is running to your local system? It is on the cloud. Going to register. See how consumer will consume the services. It has to know that is the path. It's like how I know that my services. Suppose I produce some service, some microservice. How the others will consume it? They know that these are the services available on a common registry. Okay. The Spring Tomcat is auto build. They will run that MVC. Okay. That is for running your application, Spring Boot applications, running the MVC project. Okay. So if you want in that discussions also, I can explain. But first, going because times are moving, so we'll discuss also. Okay. Monolithic microservice, you check these things, and we are going to create the loan and account after that. So I'm just searching for this one first, Eureka concepts. Okay, this one. This also I will share to you. Please study it. Okay. Yes, yes. Spring Boot Dev Tools or Eureka servers, both you can select. I currently have taken the Eureka server. It's by default is 8761, and this service will start. Okay. So they have given all the proper PDF and everything with a step-by-step approach. Okay, so you will not have any issues after that also. You can read that and you can do it. So currently I am going with the Eureka server. So then we'll come to your query and you can identify the difference between Tomcat and Eureka. Okay, so just give me a few minutes. So Eureka service are now in the form.xml. It is added Netflix Eureka server, starter wave, starter test, and it is automatically added the cloud dependencies, Spring Cloud version. Dependency management is added here with the cloud dependency. You don't have to do anything here. It's just Eureka server. When you select, it will create this dependency management. Okay, encrypted format is spring-cloud dot version. So it's a centralized cloud location. Okay, this server is going to register our application. So this is what Eureka server. Rest of the project will be the client only. So it's a server and client architecture. Currently, it's my local system. The server is going to access. Okay. So these are the dependencies. No, it's automatically done. And it's enough. Only 4 lines of code. Nothing more than it's a just discovery server. Rest of the services, means microservice, it will discover it. So I will show you. Just give me one minute. We'll write the code. So then in the SRC main Java, So we will write that applications some details actually, like what we wanted to do. Take one small package. Okay, new package, or it already will have no need to change that. Demo, created this one. So, created by the example demo. I wanted to change that, but this one here you have to add only one line of code, that is at the rate annotations, basically enable struct, enable Eureka server. Eureka server. Okay, so this boot application, additional thing we have done, enable Eureka server. And in the application dot properties, we will call that means registry and all, only 2 or 3 lines of code. That's enough. So that is in the dot properties also. The configuration thing. It's by default it run on the 8761 port number. Okay, so server dot port was coming late actually. 8761. This is default port number. Please remember that. Then we said client registry and fetch registry. Two things we have to add. It's coming or not? Let's see. If it comes, it will be easy to write those things. Eureka client. This is not client actually, so it will say false. Eureka client dot coming there registry. Eureka client registry fetch registry there. Remote registry client registry fetch interval. Client registry with Eureka here or not? With it's not automatically coming actually. Eureka client registry with Eureka it's not accepting. Okay, we'll see what is other things. First, let me complete. Eureka. Now it's coming. Eureka dot client dot page. Now it's coming here. These two things you have to learn. That's enough for Eureka. What is that actually? These two things are there. It has a meaning actually. Okay, what is the Eureka client registry and with this? So that meaning I will write here. What is this first one? Eureka client registry, this one. here means that Eureka has to register itself as an instance. So it's like if I write in a normal language, it's like you tell just one minute. You inform uh, not to register itself as instance. So this is only for registering other clients. So you can say that okay, register itself as an instance, and second I think I should write it is there means that only Eureka client as it's only discovers other services. Okay, so we can say that it is only a Eureka client. It's only a Eureka client as it is only discover. So as only Eureka client, it only discovers. So this Eureka server is not going to have its instance running. It's going to register other clients. Okay, so and the fetch registry, you must identify that this again the same thing that that it registered microservice for communications to the Eureka server. It did not register itself and also did not fetch other registered microservice. So these two things are we are making it false, but this line is giving the error actually. That's what the concern. So we'll try to run first of all these services on the port number 8761. But Eureka client registry, I'm just again thinking like writing this one. If it was, it will be good actually. With you see, all the place we write this only, but here's something giving some problem. So let's save this one. That is what the small things which we do it. And now run this one, run as the Spring Boot application, enable the server, Spring Boot app. Let's see. So I'm just thinking like why this error is coming. Otherwise we'll copy that things when sometime editors are also giving some errors without any reason. Is it stabilized or not? Yeah, it's warning, but it should not come. It's a part of it. Everywhere you have to write this 3 lines of code for your server. That is for sure. I'm using these things for a long time. I don't know what happened right now. Local host. Eight seven six one is the port number. Yes, it's starting correct. Now Tomcat and all things, a lot of things were discussed. You see the difference here. It's server which is running on 8761 port number. Okay, and this server here there is no instance registered. Now I will create a gateway. I will create 5 more microservice. All it will register over here. Okay, so this is my instance. Okay, unknown this one. Now we'll create one more thing like gateway. And then 2 microservice. Okay, so that we'll do one by one. Now this is what Eureka these things, and I have taken here on this example also. You can see this one. Yes, yes, I will run it again. So this is my Eureka server. Okay, localhost 8761. So this is the design part of the Eureka server. So this PDF also will share. It has all the data. Okay, this how it is actually working. So if you have something, you can discuss, see this also to get it identified. Okay. Yes, dependencies and all, everything is mentioned. Now, what you are asking, run again. This service is running at least. So if I do it again, okay. Now we'll create another one. So now, according to this diagram, we will build the API gateway. Okay, so this API gateway, we will take another Spring Starter project and build the API gateway. Okay, so let's go with API gateway, file, new, others, Spring Starter project, and give the name, appropriate name, API gateway. That's enough, I think. Okay. Name should be meaningful so that you can distinguish between that. If you give any ABCD name, another name, it is not good. Later on, it will be difficult to identify what we have done with the things. Okay. So always try to write the proper naming conventions for that. Now this is my client actually. So we'll take Eureka, discovery client. Okay, this is my client, and I think that is enough to add this stage. If anything missing, then we'll add outside also. Okay, we'll see that first. So it's going to add the Eureka client here. Let it create. So it is starting and creating it. It's taking some time. Always it will take some time. Don't worry about that. It will take some time. There is no other option. Okay. Now we'll change the here. It is downloading that dependency, cloud dependency here. In the form.xml, it is downloading it. Earlier, what you do is you are adding a means copy paste here. Now your starter project, it is downloading online, then installing it, and this will take few minutes. You don't have any options for that. Starter Netflix Eureka client. So this is a client only, this gateway, which again will register with the Eureka. So take this one, com.example, this is my gateway. That's a simple thing, Spring Boot applications. Here, gateway purpose, we will use here in the resource applications.properties. We will run the gateway on the common gateway on the server dot port equals to take Yes, I've taken 9090 last time. Okay, so 9090. And here we will use the gateway terms. Just let me remember everything. String dot API, right? String applications, I think so. Just a moment. String, if it works, then it's nothing better than this. String application. Uh, yes, this application name is coming. String application name equals to just name it API gateway, which we have given. Then we have to locate the path, means make it to like the cloud configuration. So string dot cloud is coming cloud discovery something cloud discovery. But gateway no cloud. Okay, let it write. Cloud, I think cloud dot gateway. It actually gives a doubt like some library is missing in dependency, it's not coming. That's why I'm thinking like if it comes, it means it is properly given. Okay, discovery, location, locator. It's still not coming. This is enable. Equals to, okay, warning it's giving actually. But why it is giving warning actually? It should have been running perfectly fine. Some dependencies maybe later on I need to add. Cloud starter actually. Where starter is there, na? Similarly, cloud starter, then it will take those things properly. Anyhow, let's complete these few things which is left here for the applications. So discovery, then just copy this one again, and we will see that it is in the lower uh, path. So discovery locator. So it's coming now. Sometimes it's coming. I will tell you, just see this it's not going here, and then finally we register the Eureka in this. Eureka client is coming. Eureka client services service services are there. No? Service, yes, URL. Default URL, which is um, default not giving me some errors. No? That's why June. Now we will use localhost Eureka path client localhost colon 8761 slash Eureka, and also add HTTP colon, that is proper, otherwise it will not pick. So discovery spelling is okay, DISCOVR. This let's see if it works 9090, and then we'll come back again. Okay, so this is gateway things which we are configuring here. This gateway locations enable true, and the lowercase it will recognize the ID, which is we will pass later on. So we have to specify this is lowercase service, and this is Eureka client service default 8761. These lines are to everywhere. No, no, no. This is for the API common gateway. This is only for this gateway. This will have, after that I have to create two more microservices. That's why I'm saying it will take some time. So those things will be different. Okay, so now run again the Spring Boot application here. So then add Spring Boot application. Actually, this warning should have not come actually if something missing with the library. You need a good configurations now. If you have 10 microservice, 10 times you have to run the Spring. So that's a good problem actually, big problem. Now see, it's giving some applications failed to start. Some problems. This warning actually causing this one. Which one you are saying? I am saying that if you have 10 REST applications, 10 times you have to run it. All the applications. You need good configurations in your system, because going to be the Spring microservice, it is taking all the services you have to run first, one by one. Okay, so that's why this will take some time. So that's configurations need more. Port different port. Okay, I can directly show you because you have so many queries. So at least we'll have to write it first, because you may be thinking in some other directions. That's quite understandable. Okay, so what I can do that this code, instead of writing, if I show you, your curiosity will be somewhat better actually. So these things I have written here, and doing some dependency actually missing it is some starter Netflix Eureka. I think we need to add some more dependency or something. Okay, so this microservice, which is API gateway, we have to create separately, then it will register over here. Now this warning is coming, right? So I'm just going to check from that perspective which I have. So it will take less time, and then we'll go to the your discussions of your issues you are facing it. Okay, that will be better. Okay, so just we'll check and explain it directly. Okay. Switch workspace. As per this hands-ons, because again two microservices will take creating more times, so it's better let's switch off to this one. Switch over to this one. This I'm also having closing right now. Just wait, give me 2 minutes. Then we'll discuss your queries like project and all what you are asking, so we can manage that. So this is my Eureka server. First, we will run the Eureka server same code. Means I'm trying. I don't think any difference will be there. Yes, we have enabled now. That's what. Here's warning is coming on. Okay, something extra it has added. Give some name. Okay, anyhow, there is no warning. That's what the things. Now we'll run this one. Run as Spring Boot application. So the port number is 8761. Spring Boot application consume a lot of memories. Running those things. So this is Eureka running here. Now next one, the gateway which I was talking it. Yes, yes, sir. This gateway and Eureka server infrastructure project for microservice. This is going to be the same for everywhere. Only the REST applications microservice which you will develop will be different. Okay, so this is infrastructure, right? That will be the same. These few lines. Then yes, yes. For every project, you have to write this one. That it is only, it is not going to create the instance of it. So that's what it's saying, that it is a server. And yes, of course, in the form.xml, we have added those server things. Okay. So form.xml, we have added the, okay, some more dependency they've added. That's what DevTools. Okay. And Netflix Eureka server, remaining these things are same. Okay, so that is why the error was warning was not coming. So you can see the starter project, this one, DevTools, Spring Boot DevTools in the starter projects. Okay, so one or two dependencies additionally if you give it, otherwise it was also working in that time. So it will take that warning etc. will not come. Now we'll go to the gateway, and this gateway is having the same thing which I was trying to do it, coming with the warning here. It's this one. API gateway application. This is Spring Boot. There is nothing here. The resources. This one. Now it is no warning here. Applications name. Service location. This exactly I've done in this way. You know. Here it's taking actually service URL default. Okay, spelling maybe I've done something wrong because it was not coming automatically, so that's why it was having error. So in the form.xml, same thing. DevTools, which is going to make the difference. Okay, so this once we run this Spring Boot applications for this one API gateway, we run as Spring Boot. Nine zero nine zero. Now we are running two microservices here. One is for the Eureka server, one is for this gateway. Here you can see the monitor icon. When you click it, you can switch over there. Eureka and API gateway. Okay, these infrastructure things you have to add in every microservice. By default, these two will be there in everywhere. Okay. Now when you check with the discovery services, here no instance was there. Now it will register that. Now you can see this gateway is registered 9090. Eureka is going to register all the client. The API gateway is itself a client also. Because that time I taken the client, right? So that client, this is not, but this is registering. Eureka Tomcat started 8761. Okay. Okay, we'll see any issues come, then we'll see that. That is a client things which we have registered over here. Okay. This one is a gateway. Now we have another project. So this concepts, this is done with the gateway and this one. Eureka has registered this one. Now we'll create microservice project, REST projects. So here I have account and the loan. Two microservice project. Okay. We'll run one by one, both of it. So this before that, as per the design aspects, see the sensor holds a registry of all the services that are available for immediate consumption. Anybody who wants to consume a RESTful web service can come to the discovery server and find out what is available and ready for consumption. Eureka Discovery Server is part of a Spring Cloud module. So these steps are given. Module Spring Cloud Discovery Eureka Server. You have to enable Eureka Server. These things are given here in the coding also in the case study. Okay. So all are there. Eureka Discovery Server. Spring Applications name. So we will use the Spring Applications name account service. Now we are going to the another service for account service. So here we are taking the boot dev tools and the Spring Web. So these things taken and accounts. Where is this account? Loan and account to microservice we are going to take. Okay. In the hands-on exercise, we will create two microservices for a bank. One microservice for handling accounts and one for handling loans. Each microservice will be the specific independent Spring RESTful Web Services Maven project having its own form.xml. The only difference is that instead of having both account and loan in a single application, it is split in two different applications. These web services will be a simple service without any backend connectivity. So create a folder in D drive and all these things. And they are saying number balance this one launch by the applications get post. So we'll take these two services which is given here for the loan and the accounts. Now let's see this one, accounts. So we have this account services. It has a bean model and controller architecture here again, account.java. So it has a number type and balance. Okay, number type balance, these getter setters and constructor. Then we have this is Spring Boot applications. Here you have to write enable discovery client. Okay, so this form.xml the dependencies are Spring Starter Web, DevTools, and this time you have to select Eureka client because all other microservices, including the gateway, will be the client only. Eureka is server, so it will register it all the available microservices. So this client here, account applications, enable discovery client, this will be enable it. And in the controller, it's static data like REST controller. So this REST controller having get mapping with accounts and the number. Number I am passing from here. Whatever number I will pass, it will take this one. So it has a get mapping method, get account, path variable, string number, @path variable, account, new account, and in the constructor of that, string number, type, double balance, like that. So in the controller, we are accessing this new account in the constructor number, saving, and some balance. Okay. So and return the account. So it's a simple applications because once you understand the concepts of it, then you can keep on making a projects, REST application. REST projects as you are creating, it's okay the same way. But here accounts and loans can be in a single project. Now we split into two projects, two microservice applications. And this one is a get account. Now we will run this Spring Boot applications also. And here observe one thing. In the applications.properties, port number is 8080. And its applications.name is given account-service. Only these two things you have to do. Other things are REST controller. Okay, I hope you have understood the things, right? Now, based on that, we'll run this one microservice. Read time out. Okay. And here, this one, the third one is going account service. Running on 8080. We'll see that if it registered or not. Otherwise, we'll do one thing that again restart it. Okay. So 8080, as per this hands-ons, the controller is there, account controller with the accounts. Refresh this one. You can see this registered over here. Okay. So Eureka server is registering it. Now those questions you were asking initially, Tomcat things, and this is quite different thing. It's a centralized place where all the REST endpoints and services available are available for consumption. So it is showing over here. Because how we'll discover that? We have to integrate in our project those things. So that is why here it's showing account hyphen service 8080. Now independently if you want to run this one. So just wait. Localhost, now 3 microservice running host. Colon. What is the number actually? 8088. Whatever the number I will pass, it will take that only. Everyone feels like Saturday evening, so I'm free and all. Calling a lot of friends actually. So accounts, 8080 accounts, and then what was that number, right? Any number you take, it will pass directly to the constructor. Number one, type saving balance this one. So this, as per the specification in the hands-on, they have said to pass the data. So whenever you write 2, it will take 2. So this is not connected with the backend things. It's just simply this number I'm taking here as a path value. Okay. So this will, whatever you write, doing it. The idea is to make these things aware, like this is my microservice which is running on the port number 8088. So you can observe here there are 3 microservice now account applications. So you can switch over to that with icon like this monitor icon, and you can go to the every microservice like that. Now the gateway things, as you can understand, and the image is given here. It's running on port number 8088, but I have a common gateway. Yes, only this service. So again, I think the same things you are all asking. I'm just trying to make you understand. Microservice is a REST controller project. Okay, what you're writing in the chat. So new project. Which one? Microservice only in the. So Manikan, that is the only concept like REST applications which you have done previously. Same REST applications has to be done. Web service to microservice. If one web service is broken into multiple web services, it is microservice. Okay, but it will be REST project only, and it's having independent entity itself. Rather than this one single instance, we have for everywhere, every microservice, multiple instance. Okay, so REST project is needed. That's what. Without that, you can't do anything. At the rate controller, we can't do it. We have to write at the rate REST control, and then split into multiple projects. Okay, so now this one is running. The gateway which I have is 9090, and you can see this here. It's registered this data I'm getting from 8088. Now this Eureka, if you see it, oh, it's a so big size actually. What happened? Okay, so that. So it is registered with this account and the gateway both, and it's saying account hyphen service. If you remember that I've used there. No, no, it's okay. No UI. For that, you have to learn the Angular or React. The endpoints are there, na? In Angular, you will consume that REST endpoint with your own UI. You have to design components. Yes. So first of all, I think confusion is starting. What is model view controller? Tell me. Model is my core Java file. Earlier view happens to be the JSP. Now when I remove the JSP, then I need a view component or not. So when you are going to learn the UI part, what you will be doing, this REST endpoints, you will call in the Angular observables. There is a service in Angular. Through that you will call that, you will design those pages, form designs, tabular things, bootstrap you will be using it, or material design. Yes, yes, front end you have to design. Front end we are just testing in the Postman or the browser for the time being here. Later on the same URL, this one, uh, you will consume in the Angular, and then you will have the UI designed over here. Okay, so if I get time tomorrow, I will show you for your curiosity. Okay, yeah, via routing. Yes, 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 yes. Very correct, very correct. This single page application concepts are there, routing are there, routing or routing. Through that, we will call those REST endpoint with our UI, and it will work like anything. It's a very nice integration. All the Facebook components and all things are developed in the React actually, the view part. Controller is a dispatcher servlet which is inbuilt to us. The view is going to be Angular. And the model, we are writing those model service controller, repository, everything, that core Java things. So that is our model files. Okay, so the business logic we always use in the Java. Now this one I was talking about, we have a common gateway 9090. Okay, it's complete this one. So here you can see this gateway and account tracking all the time. Just wait. So here in the applications properties we have mentioned account service. What is my gateway? Actually 9090. So after that I will use this one account service context path slash. See, earlier I was running on 8088 if you have observed that thing. Now I am not doing, I am routing through the 9090 common gateway with adding this path which is mentioned in the properties file, and this is my context path. Now this same things I will get from here. Okay, let's change it to 6. Now you can see the gateway is routing it with this microservice of accounts, because you cannot give a user to ask like my different port number you access it. User will always access from a single point. That is what the UI thinks. That diagram I have shown you some time back. So the UI interaction it will happen, and internally it will route to the multiple microservices: customer, product, admin, user, employee, whatever. So There will be UI here when you just select add employee, delete employee, search employee. When you just select product through the UI, internally it will route to that particular microservice internally. Okay. So here you can observe this one. Earlier I was having 8088, sorry, directly calling it. But now through this path, I am calling this gateway. Now you can see this gateway things again. This image. So this image here. This is number 9090. It was running on 8088. You can test that it's okay. Get mapping, post mapping, put mapping, delete mapping with the database. You can do it. Okay. But now I am routing through a common API gateway. Okay. So that means not individual port numbers. Okay. One minute. I'm just coming. 1 second. Just wait. I'm on the mute for a minute, so there will be no audio for a time being. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. So now you identify what is this service. Now we have another accounts, then the loan. This also is a static one. Loan application. This is my boot application, Spring Boot application. Here also I will enable the discovery client. If you miss this line annotation, it will not work. So till now you understand the entire magic of Spring applications is with the annotations. These help us to manage at least long boilerplate code, at least 10, 15, 20 lines in every category. So this enable discovery client, and this is my model file loan, number, type, loan, EMI, tenure. Constructor, we are passing these values. Okay, getters and setters, right? Now in the controller, we will access it. Loan controller. This is my REST controller. Okay, so get mapping loans. Number, whatever you pass, it will take that path variable given a string number, car, something, something then. Number, type, loan, EMI, tenure. Okay, number, type, loan, EMI, tenure. So these are the things which were there. Car, then loan amount, EMI, then the tenure, something like that. Car loan is not like home loan, but okay. So return loan. Now we'll run this microservice again, and this properties file. We have given the name loan-service. Port number is 8081. Okay. Now running this again. REST applications. Spring Boot application. So in 10 microservice, you have to run only 10. And that's what I was discussing sometime before, that we need a good configuration system, otherwise it will stuck. And you can switch over from here. The fourth one, loan. it's on 8081, correct? And now see the Eureka server. Refresh it. Now this link with the loan and then account, both loan hyphen service. Application name and the status. So we are getting those things, account hyphen service 8088, all this. Currently it's showing my computer name, but when we host our service on the server, proper names reflecting there. So this account service API, now these are the, what is the purpose now? If I now again go to the theory concepts, you can understand why the Eureka is important. Eureka is registering all the clients, including the gateway, so that it is available for consumptions. So this, because you cannot say na, that this is my service. So that means the service, what is the URL? Means that service is available at what path should be given for discovering to other clients. Then only it can integrate in their projects. Okay, so this kind of dashboard where you can see that Eureka is registering all the things. First of all, it making itself false, where it is not working as a client. So that time when I was writing the concepts, I know that you may not be understood that things. Now you can understand that false why I'm doing it. That because I wanted to make it taking that there is no instance of itself, it's a Eureka server. So it's making false. It's not going to fetch any registry. It's going to just make the other consuming available client displaying all those data over here. Okay, and the gateway means it will just have to connect with other microservices, and that will be through one common gateway. It will route. It's a Netflix project, Eureka, and this Joule proxy given also earlier. Now we are using the cloud API cloud gateway because Joule is not available in the latest Spring Boot things. But the Netflix is also works like same thing because it's having this URI directing accordingly with one common gateway. When we click on that path, but it knows that there are multiple users having connected with the Netflix. So they are managing with one common gateway, but internally they are connected with different microservices. So Netflix project, this Eureka. So you know that this one already you've seen that when we are calling that time in the form.xml. Okay. So it's mentioned there. Netflix. All are client, that is server. So you know the client server architecture. Client means it will process it, the request. So in case of Tomcat, it is processing the project to run as a boot project, MVC project. But we have multiple client projects. Eureka server is not for running the MVC, it's just for connecting with all individual microservices. So this server will connect with that. So it's a cloud architecture. And when you take server spaces from the remote locations from some other hosting sites, it will not be local host, but www something like that it will get that. Okay, so coming to this point, it's having a local loan is there. So loan.java, we have this controller. Here you can type this loan 8081. Let's see this, not this one, localhost colon 8081, right? Slash loan or loans slash number was there, no? So this static data is coming. You can have your own get mapping, post, put, delete, all those things. It will be a big project with database and all. Here, this is for the first thing we should start with the basic things, so that we can go to the next learning process. First, uh, means you visualize the aspects. What is this actually? Then you can do the next level achievement. First, we have to build the understanding. Okay, it's not that you start a lot of layers and complicated things, because it's a part of hands-on exercise, which we uh, share with the students, and they do it after learning these things. So that's the process actually has to be initiated with the basic level first of all. Now this one is loans 2. Now it is running on 8081, but the common gateway is having 9090. Okay, so same thing I will get here from, let's see, 9090 API gateway slash what was the name given in the loan controller, loan hyphen service, and the controller is same. Controller will remain the same. Right? Now this I am calling to the 9090 with this one as a loan hyphen service. Now enter here, you will get this one. Take 8. Now it's running from a common API gateway. So the projects which you are doing, I am having not checked what is the technology you are using actually and what type of project. So means after the discussions, we will try to see some project things, because I also wanted to know like what are the technology you are using. You are doing with a Spring Boot application or REST application or microservice. First of all, the category wise, I have to identify what you are doing actually. And you have done any kind of product backlog, agile methodology, you have any idea about it? Or you just started like you discuss with your friends and then start coding? What is the process you are doing actually? You have a team members, 2, 3 members, or some team who knows about Git thing, GitLab, how you are sharing the code to the WhatsApp zip file. You have the idea of GitLab. Centralized. Tomorrow that I will cover that topic. So first you must identify in the real-time scenario. We don't share anything on WhatsApp or some zip file to share it like that. What we do is collaborate with the GitLab, and there will be a kind of projects developed, and it will be uploaded to the server, central repository, version control tools. So these things will there, other members can pull it. So these things are known as string means tomorrow we'll do that, push and pull. So that is a Git things which we have to learn mandatory. Okay, coding is something which we do because it's already documented things. If you see that structure here. Yeah.
Arvind, please see the chat box. Many of the listeners are not able to see your screen. Please share your screen.
Now it's visible. Okay.
Yes, it's, I want you to keep on. They have missed many of the this thing. Please start from where they missed this.
Okay, okay. So they don't have the mic also. All participants. So participant doesn't have the mic because I am discussing those topics. So that time maybe a few things I missed out. So in that case, they can respond through the mic. Okay, you cannot speak. Okay, because I closed the chat box because there is a screen problems. So the host from Simply Learn, you've not given the mic. Yes, the host from Simply Learn, can you respond?
Arvind,
Yes.
yeah, you need to unmute any of the log and speak out.
First of all, you must understand when I open the chat box, there is a blockage kind of thing. So I have to remove that all the time. But now it's difficult for some time. Now when we are doing something like technology, right? All the time not possible for me. So at least you must give someone
Yeah,
one at
but
least.
we assist, yeah,
At least you must
but
give
we
someone
assist
at
you,
least the
sir.
right
Keep,
to
keep it,
speak. This is technology. This is
no, we
something
assist
that you
you,
cannot
sir.
expect that I'm doing all the non-technical things all the time. Okay.
You need to chat box open. You need to keep your chat box open in
The
order to
chat box,
answer
if
the
I
other.
open it, chat box, if I open it, they are saying it is disturbing it. It's blocking that yellow things on that side. Are you aware of it or not? Open the chat box here. Blocking something or not? So you tell the Simply Learn people that these are the problem. At least you must give somebody rights to speak also. Okay? Because it's unnecessarily, I have so many topics to discuss, and when I not having sharing, so if I'm not listening, seeing, you are seeing, why not you have told me that time? Yes, Simply Learn coordinator, please respond.
Arvind, please look into the chat box.
I think you don't have any answer, any solution. Thank you so much. You don't understand my problems. I am a technical person, so I cannot go in chat and all those things. You must give someone rights to speak at least. This is unfair, like I am giving these topics and without having knowing that they are stuck for some time. It's wasting my time. So like coordinator job is like if I am not listening or seeing it, you must have told me that the screen is not shared. Isn't so?
Arvind, I need to session after time. I hope you understand. Please
No, no,
continue
no.
with the session. I'll talk with the
You
team.
tell me like why not you tell me like that time what you were doing that time when several people are responding that they are not able to see it. Is it not your duty to tell me that time? No, you have
The
so
other
many issues
session,
now.
other
All of a
session
sudden you.
technical issues, I was handling with
So
that.
I lost my time, na vital time. Okay, guys, I'm just sharing those again. These things. This is very sad things. Like I never expect these things. Like at least one should be given one mic to speak. Okay, so here let's see. I was discussing this one. No, but see, I was like lost when I'm discussing with the technology. I have my, it's my hobby. It's not my these things like I'm saying for time pass. Okay, when I'm doing something with, I'm lost in the showing those things. I cannot concentrate on other non-technical things. And also, you are saying many times that you just close the chat box because it is blocking something. So that's why I have not opened it. This must understand by simply learn. I will send a mail tomorrow. These things are not good actually. Coordinator role has to be performed in that way. Okay. So this one I was discussing. We have the API gateway. So we have run this two gateways, means API gateway here. So I'm just closing it one more time and starting all again. So first one is the Eureka Discovery Server. Let's start one by one. Okay, so this one is started now, 8761. So localhost 8761. So currently there is no instance running over here. It's a blank one. After that, we have the gateway. So run this one. So this gateway will also will register with the Eureka server. Okay, so that's one thing. So I'm just registering with. So it will wait some time. This is Spring Boot application. It takes a lot of memory and starting things are time consuming. Okay, so now let's wait for a second. It will work. Okay. Okay, now let's once start, when we refresh it, this one, you can see it's rated this gateway, 9090. Now we have two more microservices. Accounts. So accounts, we just without any database. It's a model file, accounts.java. Getter setters are there and the constructors. So here number, type, and balance. It's a constructor, string number, string type, double balance. So these things are taken here and the getter setters are there. Okay, so number, type, balance. Then we have this Spring Boot applications. Here we have to enable the Eureka client, discovery client. That means all Eureka server is a registration process registering the other clients so that it is available for consumptions. I'm just sharing this one more time. Okay, so I think I've closed that. Okay, so enable discovery clients, and here this controller, if you look at this controller, we are doing the REST controller and get mapping accounts. The number which is path variable, I am passing this number. So the static reference, whatever we pass, like number equals to 4, 5 or any number, it will take to this one. Means here it will take it and this number saving, and then this is balance. Okay, so three things in the constructor of REST example. Okay, so this one counts .java. Okay, so that's okay. So this is my get mapping and this accounts, and the URL means just wait 1 second. Now this one accounts numbers saving and 2, 3 for the, some this value. That is okay. Okay. So here in this second example accounts, we have this the resource file. If you see that, it's account services given here. Now when we run this applications accounts, this is another microservice run as Spring Boot application. So here you can see there are three services. Okay, break. Okay, okay. Okay, we'll take a break. After that, 20 minutes we'll join around 9:25. Okay, then complete these topics and we'll discuss further about the projects. Okay. Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah. Please go for the break and then we'll join. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay, okay, okay. So, no problem. I will extend the sessions today for some time to cover the topic. Don't worry. Okay. So the project things we'll discuss after completion of this thing. So because of the power cut, it was got disconnected. So now it's okay. So we have started with these different microservices, and you can see these are the running. So I shared this thing. Now it is visible to you, right? Okay. So you can see here. First, we have the Eureka Discovery Server, then the API Gateway, then the account and the loan. Now these four are microservices. Two infrastructure microservice will be there for every project. Same coding, nothing changed. But you will create different REST applications after that. And these REST applications you have to make with the passing that activities like properties file. You have to mention the service name. So here you can see that accounts is there. Now if I run this account, already it's running here. The port number is on the resource file applications.properties. So it has 8088 something like that property number. Okay, properties file it is mentioned. So we'll check that code here. It's the registrations when you see the Eureka thing, all things are registered over here as a server. Now we can go with the local host colon 8088 slash loans slash 2. What is the port number? 8088, right? And the controller we have this file count controller. So let me check with the controller what is actually given. Counts. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes. REST controller, see, microservice is when you are having multiple REST projects. We call it microservice. We have a loaner account. We can integrate into one project earlier. Now we separated it. So based on the requirements, we can add more microservice. So it is called microservice. It's a web service only, which is split into multiple projects. Then it becomes microservice. Okay, it's a REST controller project only. Earlier we have one single instance where we have multiple, the modules are running. Here we have separate modules having separate project itself. So it's a term actually micro. One project is split in multiple, it's micro. Okay. So this accounts, we will see that code here, accounts slash 2. So we get the data here. Now you can see here this is 8080. Now in this case, I need one common gateway. Okay. So that gateway is running on 9090. And we have written over here account hyphen service. Now those things are registered. Now you see this Eureka will have the registration of these services. So this time we'll not use this 8080, we'll use 9090, the common gateway, and through that account services slash accounts, right? Hyphen 2 or let's say 3. Now you can see this will run on same service now running on here. The port number is 9090, but actually it's running on 8088. But through the common gateway, I'm routing through this 9090. So that's why the user, like if you see that the diagram which I was saying, like in the monolithic architecture, what happened that a single instance is there and it connects with others. But here what will happen that you have a angular things required over here. Okay. Then when you click on the product, it will go to the product internally, but through only one common gateway. Okay, if you click on the cart or something or some listing, it will go to the another microservice, but it will not change. This gateway will not change. So that will remain same, but internally the microservices are running on different ports. Getting my point? So that is what the structure actually, that it's internally we have several projects on different ports. Here you can see how many ports we are having, at least 4 microservices, 2 infrastructure and 2 different things, API gateway and Eureka discovery server, account and loan. Now similarly we have the loan also here, the next one. Okay, so just see this loan, and in this resource here, applications properties, we have the loan service. And if you want to run the individual microservice also, so these things like controller, loan controller, we have loans slash numbers. So when we see this loans and the port number, whatever the port number it has, you can see in the application context 8081, right? So this 8081, I am going to run with that 8081 slash loans or loans, right? Slash 3 or 4. So I am getting this data or not? So it's port number 8081. But you cannot ask the user to go to every microservice individually port number and do it. You will have one common gateway which actually see the available until unless it is registered over here. If I remove something here, it will not work. First, it has to be registered on this Eureka server, then through the common gateway. Now this one 9090, I have this 9090 slash. Now you can see what is the name given here, loan service, which you can see in the Eureka, it's also showing like that. And when we write over here, after that loans 4, let's make it 8. So it will pass this data and it's coming like that. So you can see 9090, one common API gateway. I am able to route the other projects also. Actually, it is running on 8088, 8081. But yes, yes, forwarding. Because you see the monolithic architecture, one single means example, it is connected with others and all. But here, what will happen? You have independent projects. All are having independent database. It's just a starting one. You can have the get mapping, post mapping, put mapping, delete mapping, all things you can do it. And then you can connect with this thing. But later on you can do it. But here it's a simple, this thing, the model and controller architecture model is my, this one, account.java, having the constructor and setters and getters. Account controller, it's simply get mapping only done like accounts. And this get account method is the get mapping. Path variable, I am having a string number. So this number, whatever the number I am passing, it will accept this one, savings and this constructor, and return the account. Similarly, in the loan also, we have this one. In this case, it's the main Java. We have this loan here. So not this is gateway. Sorry. So just check with the loan. This one, loan controller. We have, yes, in Eureka. Yes. You have to register. If I remove any one of it or stop one service, you cannot access it until unless Eureka is registered with that. So that's why when I'm doing the theory, I know you cannot connect with that. But seeing the code, you can identify those things. These are the technical things. With the theory, little understanding, then go to the coding and then see this, and now you map with the theory, you will understand better. So that's why I told earlier that these things we are running individually. Till now we are doing with REST controller program, but API gateway will have the common load balancing. That means it will able to route the multiple microservice project. User is not aware. Here this page you will not share like this thing. Okay, I have to delete this. This page will be Angular based. Okay, I will tomorrow, if I get some time, I will share you some React application with the Spring Boot, Spring REST microservice. Okay, so that you can understand that UI components still you have not done. So here the view things like JSP page we are not using actually in the REST controller. We can have the postman where we can test our code. That's okay, but user you can't give like this one. And the website user will have a proper UI in place. So the component design and HTML design you have to do over here. Okay, so they will access it and it will internally route it. So you understood this concepts, guys. This multiple projects all are running on different ports. What is the role of the Eureka? It registers those services client, and then you can have those running on one common port API gateway, which is also client project for the Eureka. So through that port number of API gateway, we can route that things to multiple modules, multiple projects. Is it okay? You understood the concepts? I will share the hands-ons also and the code also. You please check at your end. Okay. So now the project things. Yes. Yeah, sure. And what about the project things? You would like to share it? Yes, Manikant, tell me. Or something called this JUnit things I would like to show you first to complete today's discussion, as I said to you. Okay. This concept, everyone understood what is microservice. Micro is not is something which is actually the terminology. Okay, post and put. You want to share it? Okay. First complete, yes. Then I will do that. So micro is a concept actually. That means one project divided into multiple projects. It is micro. Okay. It's actually web service only. But now the web service means REST services. So those REST services earlier is single instance, one project, but here it's separate, independent, self-contained project and running on different codes. So the Eureka will register them into one single point so that all the consumable things will be at one place. That's what I was sharing to you also that time. These consumable things, this hands-ons. Okay, this microservice hands-ons. Just 5 minutes, I will complete this one. This PDF file, etc., will also share, and you see the things can be managed in that way. Okay. So, opening till now. Now I will change to the other one. There is a concept called MongoDB in the database also. Are you aware about the MongoDB? Yes. No. Okay. So MongoDB is a very powerful database nowadays. Okay, just giving you some idea about it because you must have additional inputs with the database with the because my next project is for the JUnit I connected with MongoDB. So here we have let's see where it's gone. Icon is not clear. Okay, so I'm switching over to the switch workspace, Spring REST. So these microservice are single projects, REST controller running on different projects. So all you have to run at a time, then only it will work. Maybe I have just taken to the folder desktop cleaning. Okay, so this one deleted or what? Okay, it's somewhere I kept actually. I think I just delete these things. MongoDB on somewhere. Additional one or two database is very important. These are for the big data preparations. Okay, because I am going to cover the JUnit things. So on that context, just introduction of it. Okay, in the meantime, it is starting. Just convert the JUnit things. Okay. So this services.msc, please understand this is a very important thing. Services.msc. When you are having one service or something which is stopped earlier, it has to be started. Why? Because after restart of the system or sometime the services will be shut down, maybe with other regions also. Windows are calling the service shut down. So you have to restart that service. Then only it will work. It's not that you reinstall and uninstall and then again do it. All those things not required. But since my system restarted, all of a sudden it was switched off. No? So now it's running. Just see. This is MongoDB UI part. Okay, here you have to connect this one. So when the service will restart, then only it will connect. Now you can see the database are there. and this is for the big data Hadoop actually. Basically, no SQL. Like Hibernate, you have seen without SQL, we can do it. The coding here, it's called no SQL. It's a database which is actually for various formats. So data are actually random basis, not in a RDBMS. You have seen first name, last name, email, mobile number like that. But if data comes like first name, last name, email, mobile number, and address, RDBMS will not be able to store the unstructured data. And the WhatsApp, Instagram, Gmail, whatever we are doing currently, it's every second, every nanosecond generate terabyte or zettabytes of data. So these data analysis are done through the Hadoop, and for that you need to have unstructured databases. So this concept of MongoDB is very much useful because if you get some data with the first name, last name, you can still store it. If you get first name, last name, and the address also, it can store it. So all type of it. So here the formations are like called documents. So like create database. This is the Compass. You have to install this MongoDB Compass, and this will be because UI part of it. So database name. Suppose I am giving the database name like Simply Learn. Simply Learn DB. Then you have to write the collection name also. Now collection name, I am just giving that SL. Create database. Now you can see Simply Learn DB is created with that database. Okay. Now click on this database. Here you have the options to collect the data. Create collections and view. So we have SL. Click on the SL document. Add data. You can import the data, means billions of data and big files, big data files can be imported here. In Excel format or JSON format, data can be captured and taken over here. When once it will create for all. But inside documents for normal starting practice, you have this add data JSON format. When you click, you will get these things here. And everyone must try to download the Compass and do it. It's very advanced things because highly popular. Okay. So here plus symbol you are seeing it. When you click on this, add field after ID. So fully UI generated thing. So I will give like ID name like ID already given. So let's take first name, and then the first name. Click on this Vijay, for example. Its type is a string. You can have the drop down also the data types. And with the data types, we can select a integer, 32-bit, or binary or boolean sort of data types. And plus add fields after first name. Okay. Last name. So I have taken the last name any single digit like R. It's also a string insert. So here you can see the ID is a unique thing created. So individual profiling can be done with this unique ID. So the Bitcoin and all those things, technology, all are using this MongoDB technology because there are kind of, this uh, unique ID through which it can maintain all the details. Now this one, uh, new add data and again insert insert document screen. Screen is not visible. So what it was saying like screen is it visible to you? Okay, okay. So someone was saying I just got scared again. Okay, 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 no problem. So this one cancel. Now add the data. So just giving the brief idea because I am going the context of the unit. So just show these things. You will find it interesting. You can continue after that. Insert document. Here I'm adding some records. Add fill after ID. It's like full name. So Ajay Kumar, something like that I've written. String type. Then add field after full name. Key value pair JSON data. Okay, so again write email. Here email will be ajay@gmail.com. Just enough to only. So you can see this is a unique ID D8. It is D7 and first name, last name, then full name, email, someone's address. So whatever the format data that comes in, they add into the collection with a unique ID and do the individual profiling. So it's unstructured data. Without writing SQL, we can get that. And you can search here, filter in this values, field like first name, colon, DJ, then it will search that data also. So a lot of facility edit options there like that. Now this MongoDB is something which we can use in our project, like one is Spring REST project which I am talking about. So here we have the repository layer, student repository. So like JPA repository have done, here we have a Mongo repository specifically given. Okay, and this find by student name, find by email, find all by GPA description. So these are given here. This is a REST controller project with all the layers. Okay, so controller, model, repository, DTO object. One more concept is there in the REST is DTOs. DTO is helpful whenever you need to group the values in ad hoc structure for passing data around. So you can have this model things where student you can pass with that student.java. That's not a problem. But we want one more abstract layer, so we add the DTO object, and through that we pass the data. So these things are used, and here at the rate document, not at the rate table. Collections we have created is students. So when we create this collection students, or when we run this one, collection will be created there. Like I created SL, and then it can insert those post, get, put, and all things which is written in the controller layer. Okay, so we have this student service, student number, email, order by GP. So this is normal REST controller program. Only additional is DTO. So I want you to see that code. I will share it. DTO means data transfer object with the mapper things. So controller, we are not getting the value written from the repository directly to the this student.java. Means we have the entity document, but instead of that we pass to the DTO object, and DTO will return. So what is the advantage that we can filter it? Suppose we want to filter some of the inputs not to send to the controller to the browser, so we can manage through the DTOs. That's one aspect. But here testing, you have to do that Mockito and JUnit. So you heard about the JUnit and Mockito things? Anything you have done in the previous time? JUnit and Mockito, what is that? Any idea about the JUnit? Absolutely no idea. Then okay. Testing, you know, you are a developer. Okay, so you have to do the testing also with the code. That means full stack developers. JUnit, see, the entire thing I'm just covering this thing. Okay, not the entire thing. So just with the respect of this, I will explain this. Hopefully, you will understand. Okay, because now JUnit topic is a different topic. It's about testing things. But what happened when you write those things in the controller layer or repository, your project is still not ready, and you want to test the code that my logic is working or not. For example, here in the resources, we have a test folder. Till now, we have not used that. So you have seen that resource we have used, Java used, but test not used. So test classes, we have written one service layer, this one, JUnit test cases. Okay, what the JUnit will do, that test cases are written, test configurations bean, auto-wired, it has a mock MVC, now mock bean concepts. So some dummy data we are placing it. Student, two objects created reference, then the refined like long student number, student name, number, both the students, mail, email, etc. given as a dummy information. So why it is given? Because we want to check our logic before it is ready actually. Code is ready. So JUnit is for the testing purpose. In this category, just see what are the things are used. Run with Spring Runner class. So I will check my Spring applications with the run with, then the test configurations at the rate bean. So this bean is configurations. You remember that configuration. So here it's test configuration. Test configuration, we have the method student service with the at the rate bean, and auto wired with the student service. Student service is my interface in the program, and in the student service, we will do the mock bean with the student repository. These all are for testing purpose. JUnit things are given to us. Mock means you understand mock means what? Suppose you have a real exam, before that you have a dummy exam. Means the patterns are there or something you can understand that this is going to be the questions in the exams level. So we have the mock bean concepts. Auto wired with the service, student repository. Now student repository is my interface Mongo repository, and this is my student service. The two student object created with their variables long and all the 23 and 91 assigned, email assigned. In the list, student, new array list, uh, student. So student list we will add some data, manual data, like set ID, because we want to store ABC something, so student name, email ID, student number, and math and science, set course list. These are the setters in the bin actually, student. Okay. So basically JUnit is performing the testing application. It's some dummy data that is called Mockito, mock this thing. And we have this data when storing it because we are creating two objects actually, one for the student, one regress, and other YIGIT. So we have two students of a new student, and for this new student, we added some data with the setters. And then in the in the collection, in the list students, we added both of it. When I select this, you can see what is actually selected. Okay, so this added as a user-defined collection. I hope you understand user-defined collection. So something which we have the object reference because this is like regress new student, then it's new student, and then in that we are doing the setters, and finally we are adding those two in the collection. Now Mockito will be used after that. Let's see, this is very interesting. Mockito when student repository dot find all dot then returns students. So what is this students? Two data, two sets of array list we have added. Okay, add this one. So find all student repository is where it is written. This student repository, which is student repository, which is extending the Mongo repository. And in this is here is find all. Where is this find all? You can see we are going to Mongo repository dot class. This is a specification like JPA repository. We have the Mongo repository. Find all. Okay. So now you can understand that find all is the method. This method I will implement in my service layer finally. Student service IMPL, find all, then find all student repository dot. This I am doing it, but in this case, find all, then return students. So student repository dot student. So it will return this one, both the data. That means my find all, which I have still not completed the entire logical flow, but I want to find all this method, then return the student. So it returns the student, that means return the both the data or not. If it returns, so then Mockito dot when student repository dot find all returns student. So it will return both the data, set of the data. It's a manual kind of thing which we have to do in JUnit and Mockito. JUnit is running on the top of the Mockito. For that, you have to add in the form.xml those dependency also. So for testing purpose, still we have done here the main Java, then the resources, testing things we have not checked still. So I am doing that only because JUnit is an independent technology. It's like for the testing purpose. Testing means the code which you have written is managing the quality is okay or not. So for that purpose, we use the JUnit things, and it's the role of the developers to do that. So in some certain cases, like a student repository dot find by student number. Find by student number is still only declared part. With this JUnit, we have finding the student number. Now, when I click this, you can see this one. Set student number, and what is the student number given here? 23. So 23, it is getting that, then return the regex. So it's returning this one. So find by ID is what? The find by student number. When the student number is okay, then return the regex. So then it will print the value of that status thing. Okay. So think in a normal understanding, try to make it like JUnit and Mockito is testing our code even before the logics are started to build. So it's a teamwork. You are not alone, one single developer. There will be multiple developers at every end. Everyone will be doing the coding. So it will not be ready immediately for testing. So the Mockito JUnit will have some dummy inputs taken. Based on that, the service layer which is there, we can check that find all, find by student number, find by email, which is written in the interface. So when find by email, YIGIT mail, what is that? This one. Okay, so with that, it will find by the email all the relevant data. So mockito.when student repository find by email, then return YIGIT. So it will return this. Obviously, it will get that mail. Okay, this email 12, which is actually given here, equals to this. So it returns those values. So, so these methods which are declared in the service layer for the writing the logic. After that, we can check those database things. Before that, we have this mock game auto-wired with this, and then we can connect with our dummy data to return that value. These are nothing but in the REST controller, we use that and properly implement it. But in the real world scenario, you will not see that you are getting those logic complete to end to end. You have to wait for a long time. Can't we do it? Wait for such long time? Answer is no. And also, you are not alone developer. There are at least 5, 6 members. So everyone's works are integrated. If someone completes, then the next one will complete the next thing, and so on. It will take long time. Before that, those methods which you have declared in the interface itself, then immediately you can get the some inputs taken with the setters, which is here. Taken two objects added to the collections, and through that we are checking the value here. It's called in-memory database. It looks like a database because MySQL still we have MongoDB we have not stored the database. Okay. Before that, in collection we added those data, and then we are checking here with the service layer. So if it is giving me the proper output, then my logic is going to be correct one, because I'm just checking that what kind of things I'm getting from here. So find by student number, find by email, find all by order by GPA description, because it may happen that you are dealing with the service layer, but controller is still not ready and the repositories are still not created. But yes, you have an interface, and that interface logic you have implemented in the service layer, but the other things are not in place. Then what you will do? You will simply create one data set and having collection, adding those data, Then with the help of Mockito, because Mockito is for the dummy information, proxy information. So that data is added manually. Based on that, is it finding all or not? So find all by order by GPA description. Finding all by the GPA description. So we have two sets of GPA, 3.37 taken, 3.58. So with that, which one will be sorting it for sorting purpose? Mockito when student repository dot find all by order by GPA description. This one is here. Okay. And then return student dot stream. Again, these streams will come. So student dot stream dot sorted. Comparator dot comparing student. What is this? You know about that? In Java 8, you heard about this thing? Colon colon double colon. What is its meaning? Okay, okay, then it's okay. So it's basically method reference. Yes, yes. So get GPA. So what it will do first, it will reverse pipeline. Last thing is collect. Collect collectors dot to list. So it will without the loops. Yes, yes, yes. For list. Yes, yes. Good, good, very good. So these things will collect those data and then first it will do reverse. Then after that it will do the sorting as per the logic. So what will be the things coming on the top of it? This one, 3.58, then 3.37. So some normal logic we write here and check that code and those methods integrated to the repository, bean and all those things are working fine or not. That is the role of a starting developer's job. Mockito JUnit you have to do at any cost at all the time in the project because we are having TDD approach, test-driven approach. It's not the entire code is written, then after the 1 month or 2 months, we will test the code and we will start getting a lot of errors and then struggle to solve those things. Instead of that, what we do is that immediately we check the code. Whatever the data means available logics and all those integrations are available, you can check it and say that sortings are performing all or not, find by ID. So the taken the data, two set of data before it will run and then this Mockito will check like that. Student repository dot save. That is for my saving this data, then return this one. So obviously we are returning this like this, any name you can say, save this one, then return this. Of course it will return. So it's a Mockito dot when student repository dot save. Dot save is the service to repository connected. Okay, this one is CRUD repository. So Mongo repository is extending with the CRUD repository. So same method is there and this they are taking here without implementation of it that okay we are saving this data then return this one, so it will be true. Now test cases, several test cases are written. These test cases are part of the JUnit. Here the Mockito is checking the dummy data with the method. JUnit will check the test case assets equals, assets not equals, assets null, assets not null. These separate assets class are there. For example, this is a method at the rate test. We call it test case. Okay, so test case, first test case is list found student service dot find all. So student service dot find all, it will found something. So assets not null is true. It will not be null, right? Then asset equals to 2 found student dot size. So what is this 2 and found? You can see it compared to actual and with the old one, means expected and actual. Asset equals long expected, long actual. asset equals. So here we have two data, right? Size data is 2. So this is expected and this is actual. So actual is 2, this is 2, then test case is passed. Okay, like that. So in the list we are adding those found students. Of course, assets not null. So it will find all, student service dot find all. So let's see this find all. This is my interface methods declared, and of course not null because it will get the student detail. So it is 2 inside, it's yes. Then another test case, student number. So found is also not null, is true because it will be found with this student number, like this student number 23. Okay, so then it is not null. So that is true. Asset equals get name, found get name. Now what is the name? Regress. Regress. Now get name then found. This is expected. This is actual. Get name is same because we have saved with that and then this name. So this is expected with this true. Also get ID, found get ID. So this manually we are checking the test cases with expected and actual. There is a delta kind of thing where 0.01% margin is allowed, difference of margin. But this is expected and this is actual. Then the test case, find email, YIGT email to, not null, found, get name, found, get name. So found get name will do what? Which name it will found? According to this name it will find, and what is the email it will find? Name it will find. Name is YIGIT. So it is expected and actual is same. Yes. ID and is same. Yes. Then this test case will pass. I'm not aware you are doing any hands-ons on the platform, cloud platform. So you have seen that even after writing good few lines of code, still it's saying that test case failed. So internally, this type of test cases are written actually, which is checking manual data thing that my logic are working fine or not. So it's something like two. For example, you see this two. Suppose I've written one example for cube of a number, cube. I've written A into A, one method, something like that. Now we pass through a method 3. So what will be the cube? 27. So expected 27 and then the method, after that calling that method. So that method is going to call A with the input 3, 27, 27 is okay. Now if I have written wrong, 24, then it will not read. Okay, so this one is same thing, expected and actual. Then find the email, what it will find, YGT. So then this also the expected, actual. For the GPA also, method name, student service, find all by order by GPA. Assets not null, obviously it's not null. It will get some data, two data. So size is 2, yes, 2. And same like get name, found a student get 0 dot get name. What is that it will get? So all test cases are written like that. With finally last one is delete, which is important. Get ID it will get, and there is a verify method. Mockito dot times 1. So delete by once. It is times means verifying exact number of invocations. This basically checks that okay, delete has happened or not, verifying it. Okay, it's written somewhere. So in case of delete, delete is stored by ID. That is a method here, string ID. Get ID first, then Mockito dot verify. Student repository Mockito dot times 1. Delete by ID, regress get ID. So this is for confirming it. Mockito dot verify that dummy data is deleted. How many times? Invoke only once. Okay, so this get ID is happened. Okay, it's like JUnit some introductions. I will show you some examples on tomorrow also. Okay, because some basic introduction I thought like you have done previously. So based on that, it will be easier for identifying those information. So I will starting tomorrow. We'll discuss some of the concepts. Then again, we'll see this examples understanding. But I think you have some concepts now at least that where you know that the entire logic end to end is not done. Still, we have some logics are completed. We can check our data with some normal taken into setters. So that setters we are adding to the collections till next weekend. We'll check that. Okay. Let me complete by tomorrow. We'll see that. Okay. I'm also now not feeling that much. So definitely required. We'll do it. Don't worry. I'm always happy to share more and more. Don't worry. We have so many things to do. But if we get permissions, definitely do it. Okay. So today I will close it and these examples I will upload. Yeah, yeah. Doubt. Yes, yes. Doubt class we can have one more sessions, extra sessions we can create. So next week we'll see that Sumit, no problem. Yes, yes. I will share it. Please excuse me for today. At least I'm not feeling that well right now. Having all things happen. So I will close this and please check after some time. Tomorrow morning I will upload all those data. This example also MongoDB things and these things. And I will again explain sometime more. Yes, yes, yes. So will JUnit things I want you to concentrate because in future it will be very helpful. You are a full stack engineer. So it's not only the coding are expected, but testing components are equally important for you. You please understand this thing. You cannot say my job is only coding. Okay. I will see because of some restrictions. I will do it. Okay. Today what happened, you know that. Okay. No problem. So I am just closing, guys. Tomorrow we'll do it. Okay. And if required, we will extend. No problem. Okay. So sorry for the interruptions today because of the all of sudden power cut and all. So you can check tomorrow at 9 a.m. You will get all these things. Yes, yes. Yes, they have said your mobile number and all everything, but it is strictly been told by the Simply Learn not to share anything. That's what I am just as a disciplined soldier, I follow the instruction and guidelines of the Simply Learn. So based on that, okay, don't worry. We'll do it. You you will see that next session LinkedIn I will share it. Okay. But if I get the permissions only, because I am a very disciplined person in this category, I don't want to disturb anything. Yes, yes. Interview questions. Okay. Yes, is YouTube also. Interview questions is important. Yes. What is this survey? Yeah, yeah. So I will do it tomorrow. The rest of the topics, if required, will send a request for some doubt sessions, etc., extract sessions. Okay, no problem. Okay, so please today I'm just going to log out and you connect tomorrow sharp 7 a.m. 7 p.m. Sorry, and tomorrow by 9 a.m. Please expect I will upload to that same location all these PDF and everything. Okay, not today, but tomorrow morning surely after 9 a.m. you can check it. Okay. Yes. So thank you guys. Take care. Good night to all of you, and we'll again meet on 7 p.m. tomorrow. Okay. Nothing to worry. We will cover all the topics. Then only we'll leave. Don't worry. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good night. Take care. Thank you so much to everyone. Thank you. Yes. I'm just going to log out. Please check these things. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Take care. Bye. Okay. DevOps things I will do it tomorrow. DevOps related topics with some of the topics which is very important, the CI/CD pipeline, etc. So at least you will see whatever I have given you. All things are practically required in the industry, and you can manage nicely and start with the projects. You will never face any problem. Okay, so those things I will definitely take care in my all the topics which is required. Okay, don't worry. Okay, thank you. Bye. Take care. Thanks.
Thank you everyone for joining the session.